Hey lovey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you and yours are doing amazing. If it's your first time being here, I appreciate you for stopping by. Kiki is my name. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't so we can connect and become fragrance friends. Now on today's video, I'm so excited because I have 10 of my current favorite fragrances from 10 different Arabic brands. Now I decided to start this series because I would like to highlight more Arabic brands beyond those we're used to. Now I've been in the world of fragrances for so many years and I have been following Arabic brands for as long as I have loved fragrances in my adult age. So it'll be nice for me to start showing you fragrances from these brands that I'll recommend in a heartbeat. Now, if you'd like to know what they are, why don't you get settled, get hydrated, and let's get into the video. We're starting off with a fragrance that is perfectly matching with me. It's packaged in a beautiful black bottle. This is Earth, and it is by the brand Nabeel. I've featured this fragrance on my channel in the past, and it's clearly still a love of mine. Nabeel as a brand is based out of the United Arab Emirates. They have been in the business since 1995. They have over 100 fragrances and more, and they are a more affordable house under the Spirit of Dubai franchise. So the Spirit of Dubai is a well-known and loved or higher priced fragrance house, and they decided to create Nabeel to cater to a wider group of audience who want something more affordable. So whenever there is a new the Spirit of Dubai fragrance, you're very certain to find the more affordable version under Nabeel. Now with Earth, the more pricey version under the Spirit of Dubai is Turath. That is such a popular fragrance, and Earth seems to be hidden. Like, not a lot of people are talking about it, but I'm here to tell you what it smells like, and you have to get this fragrance, okay? Earth smells just like sugar and saffron. Think Arabian tonka. That's the perfect fragrance to describe this as. But it takes it to another level of adding in some spiciness to it and a bit of a leathery quality here, making this so seductive under its sweetness, right? With Arabian tonka, that can come out really, really sweet for some people because it's literally sugar, saffron, oud. But with Earth, you're bringing in leather, a little bit of tolu balsam, some patchouli, rounding it up, making this such a very, grown-up type of fragrance, one that can be worn by men or women. Actually, I believe Earth is targeted towards men, but fragrance wearing or fragrances are subjective. To my nose, this is perfectly unisex, slightly leaning masculine, but anyone can easily pull this off. So if you like Arabian's tonka, if you like fragrances that are a little bit sweet, but at the same time a bit spicy, has a leather element to it, you're going to fall head over heels in love with Earth. Did I tell you that this is a beast mode fragrance? I'm telling you, this will stay on your clothes. It will stay in whatever placement you're in when you put this on. It does not leave. It stays for a good day until you're like, you know what? It's time to go. I have to open up my windows before you disappear. That is how strong Earth is. And that's why I really appreciate the Spirit of Dubai as a brand, because they did not take away the performance, the quality of what you're getting with their Nabeel fragrances. They retain that to some aspect so that you can still enjoy the fragrances you love or have wanted under the Spirit of Dubai with Nabeel. Also, another thing I enjoy about them is that they have the dates of the fragrance. So, like this is 2023 was when it was manufactured and it expires in 28. So it's a good 5-year lifeline that this fragrance comes with. It is so good, of great quality. And if you want something unique, sweet, bold, perfectly unisex, a compliment magnet, definitely check out Earth by Nabeel. Such a fantastic fragrance. My number one from the brand, and I'll definitely recommend this to anybody. Next, I've got Blueberry Musk by the brand Arabiyat Prestige. I have spoken about this one too many times. I would not tire to bring this up and out anywhere I can. This is a darling bottle and a darling fragrance. Just look at the cuteness of this packaging. Arabia Prestige is a brand that is sort of on the newer time scale. They came out in 2020 and they have quite a number of fragrances out now. I think about 15, 20 fragrances, which is a good number for a newer brand. This fragrance, oh my God. Arabian Prestige is also based out of the United Arab Emirates, and with Blueberry Musk, I believe this is one of their most popular offerings. It came out in 21, 22, and it is such a delicious blueberry heaven. Freshly baked blueberry cookies, and as it dries down, it turns a bit musky and a bit sensual. This is a fragrance that reminds me a lot of Fenty, but imagine a sweeter take on Fenty. That is what you're getting with this fragrance. It has some similar notes. You got patchouli, musk, blueberry. Here you also have some vanilla, adding to that sweetness here. But this doesn't become cloying with all of the freshness of the blueberries and the gourmand taste that you're getting now. This is one that is just a grown-up sweetness that is very, very, very decadent and enjoyable. Perfect date night fragrance, I'll tell you. It's a fragrance that is perfect during the fall. I mean, you can wear this sparingly throughout the course of the year, but this is one that will work so well when you have a huge party happening in the fall and the winter. Everywhere smells like gourmand. You're going to stand out with this one because not everyone is going to smell like you with that delicious blueberry goodness. The cookies, the pastries that come or that you can make with blueberries. You're getting all of that in this delicious offering, and it is such a strong fragrance. It's also going to stay with you throughout the day if you spray like I do. I bathe myself in this because there is nothing not to love about this. It is so addictive, so juicy, so decadent. It's a rich fragrance, yet it feels quite airy. And if you want all of that, do not sleep on this bad boy. This is a delicious fragrance. This is Blueberry Musk, my favorite from the brand Arabiyat Prestige. Next, I've got Algalia, and this is by the brand Rasasi. Look at this stunning bottle. Oh my gosh, it's so incredible to just look at the gorgeousness of this packaging. Rasasi is a brand that is also based out of the UAE, Dubai to be specific, and they have been in the market for such a long time, since 1979. Okay, they have over 300 fragrances from my last count, and their fragrances are also top tier. Okay, now with Algalia, this is such a mysterious type of fragrance. You have to love your smoky rose, your spicy saffron, your intense muskiness to enjoy Algalia as a fragrance. It's not a blind buy worthy fragrance, okay? But me, I love to push the edge. I sort of knew what I was looking for when I was getting this fragrance, and it fulfilled my expectations, okay? So like I said, spicy saffron, very intense, okay? Smoky rose, very that in depth in the way it smells and in the way the smokiness appears, a bit dry. And then you have that musk. The musk doesn't shy away, it's present, it sort of envelopes the other notes, putting all of them together, bringing in that allure, that enchantment, something a bit seductive and mysterious as the fragrance note or accord, basically. That's what you're getting with Algalia. Then it has a slight sweetness as it dries down. This fragrance, Algalia, reminds me a lot of Crazy in Love by Montal. Okay, I would say that when you spray, you can tell that rose, the smokiness is present here. And I own that fragrance. This might not be as sweet as that, but you get the smokiness, the intensity in both fragrances, and I absolutely, absolutely love that, as I do love Algalia. Look at this fragrance. Now, I would say though that it's not a huge projector, but it sticks to clothes as well. Since all of the fragrances here are sticking to clothes, just okay, bear that in mind. Every fragrance I'm sharing here with you stays, they last, they will stay on your clothes, right? But when it doesn't project, I'll be sure to highlight that. In this case, it's not a huge projector, but what it misses out or lacks in terms of its sillage, it doubles that or pays forward in its performance, its staying power, its lasting power on your skin and on your clothes. It's a great one to have, quite affordable, but I've been seeing the prices going up lately. I don't know why, but if you're into the idea of something quite mysterious, smokiness is what comes to play, muskiness comes to play, spiciness comes to play. Definitely do not sleep out on Algalia. This is my favorite from Rasasi. Next, I've got Amber Thyme, and this is under the Afnan Edict series from the brand Afnan. Now, Afnan is a brand that has been in the market since 2021, also a bit newer in the market, and they have a lot of fragrances, close to 200, and they are known to release their fragrances in a batch of series. So you don't just see them releasing one at a time. It's typically in collections or series. With Amber Thyme, they released this under the Afnan Edit collection. And while I know that Afnan is very popular, I mean, you got 9 p.m. and some other fragrances, the Afnan Edit series seems to have been swept under the carpet and not really getting the hype it deserves. And I say it deserves because I've tried the 3 fragrances from that series and all of them are fantastic. Amber Thyme especially, this is one that you need to get if you love your sweet fragrances. Think the best of both worlds of some of your favorite or classic fragrances like Baccarat Rouge 540 and Angel Share. Imagine both fragrances coming together. That's what you're getting with Amber Thyme. And I wonder why they named this Amber Thyme because it has nothing to do with spices, thyme, or amber. Like, I don't know where that came from or the intent behind the name, but that's okay. Amber Time really delivers in terms of that gourmand element. Some people also say this reminds them of Arabian's Tonka and Camera Great. Those are also fragrances with nuances similar to Baccarat Rouge 540 and Angel Share. So if you like the idea of those 2 fragrances and you're trying to get something that just merges both of them, definitely get Amber Time. This is a beast of a fragrance. This is one that will get you many compliments. This is one that you cannot escape once you smell it. Like, it is such a beautiful fragrance. This is one I enjoy wearing. And the more it's sat and aged in my collection, the stronger it's gotten. When I initially got this, I was so obsessed with it. No one was talking about it. And I was like, I'm going to get another bottle. But for some reason, like, because of the potency of this fragrance, do I really need another bottle? And this is going to what, 2 years now? Is it 2 years? Yeah, or over a year. And this is still where I'm at. And I spray my fragrances. So that's to tell you it's of great quality. It will get stronger as it sits in your collection. But there's a concern I have about this fragrance. Well, not the fragrance, the packaging, and it is the bottle. This keeps coming off. I have tried to glue it together, I've tried to press it down, but it just would not budge. It just keeps coming off. So just wanting you to know, I know it's affordable. I shouldn't be worried about the packaging, but yeah, I still have to spend money. The brand delivers affordability. So quality control is something that should be front and center, irrespective of the price point. That being said, it's a fantastic fragrance, one that I would always have in my collection. Once this runs out, get it. It's my favorite right now from Afnan. This is Amber Time, and it's from the Afnan Edit collection. Next, I've got Club de Nuit White Imperial, and this is by the brand Armaf. This is such a unique iridescent shade, focusing on gray, and on pictures it looks white, but it's actually gray with that iridescent lighting, almost cosmic like. Armaf as a brand has been on the market since 2015, over 300 fragrances and counting. They always make fragrances constantly, and they have worked with so many perfumers, including master perfumer Quentin Bish. I believe that his collaboration with them was his first foray into the world of Middle Eastern fragrances. He made Private Key to My Success with Armaf, which came out at the early part of 2023. And then he collaborated with Amouage for Guidance, and of course, the known and loved Teriak for Latafa. Coming back to Armaf as a brand, they are known for making masterpieces. When they intend to dupe, they dupe it down. When they're making their originals, it goes original. With Club de Nuit Imperial, this is a perfect dupe of the Lena Exclusive by Parfum de Marly. This took the fragrance community by storm when it came out because of its performance, its similarity to the OG, and everything about it did not speak to it being cheap or affordable. Club de Nuit White Imperial is such an ultra sexy fragrance, perfectly, perfectly feminine. What I mean perfectly feminine is one that you can wear as a woman anywhere. It depends on how you spray it, right? I recommend you to wear this sparingly to the office because it's a beast. It projects. 1, 2 sprays, you're going to be noticed. This also gets me a lot of compliments. You can also wear this for date night. Oh, I recommend this for date night. This will get you all that attention that you deserve. This will make for a perfect bridal day fragrance. As a bride, doubt yourself in this gorgeousness of a fragrance. All eyes will be on you. You deserve all the attention. It's your big day, and Club de Nuit Imperial will make you feel ultra special. This is a fragrance that is sexy. It also screams boss babe. It also screams I am in charge. At the same time, it has a sensuality to it, something soft about it. Here you have rich, juicy lychee, which can be a bit tart but sweet at the same time. You also have a combination of rose and incense and some vanilla with musk. This is such an addictive fragrance. So addictive that I got myself the biggest bottle. Do you know that there is a bigger bottle? Yes, a 6.0 ounce bottle. This is currently a 3.6. And so was it 6.0 or 6.2? I believe it's or 7.2. I just know it was a bigger bottle, and I'm going to put the link in the description if you're interested in getting that, because whenever I wear this, compliments for it, and it just smells good and it creates a beautiful air around you and bubble. I'm like, there's no point getting the Nina exclusive because surprisingly, I don't have a full bottle of that fragrance. When I smelled this and I saw that it was literally the same thing, I just gave up getting it. So I had to get the biggest bottle. I can't stay without this fragrance. It's so good. You have to have it in your collection. If you don't, perfect feminine fragrance, so sexy a fragrance, and it is to me the best offering by the brand Armaf. This next I've got Hibiscus Magic by the brand Fragrance World. I mentioned Fragrance World is also one of the newer ones, started in 2022, and they have a neat offering of fragrances. Unfortunately, not all of them are listed under their Fragrantica directory, but I'll tell you and I can vouch that the fragrances that I own by Fragrance World are top tier. They're known to be primarily a dupe house, and when they dupe, it is so hard to tell them apart or their fragrances apart from the OG. So many I have. Now, this right here, Hibiscus Magic, you need to get it. If you've been wanting to try Hibiscus Mahajad, save yourself your pretty coins and get Hibiscus Magic, because this right here is the perfect and the only acceptable dupe of that fragrance. This is so good to be true. When I got this, there wasn't like I wasn't expecting much because first of all, Hibiscus Mahajad is one of those very intricately crafted fragrances that is hard to replicate. I mean, it was also made by Quentin Bish as a perfumer. And one thing he's known for is having an edge with his fragrances. They may smell familiar or that you feel it's been done before, but he adds that his unique touch to his fragrances. You see that with Guidance, with Teriac, Hibiscus Mahajad. And I'm happy to say that Fragrance World, their chemists, almost stole the portion of Hibiscus Mahajad and transferred it into Hibiscus Magic. This is a sexy fragrance. This is such a complex one, but at the same time, it just compels you to feel like you're a different person, a brand new person. You can conquer anything, you can be anyone. That is how this fragrance is. It is so sexy. It is so rich. It has a very classic quality to it. You almost are like on a league of your own while wearing Hibiscus Magic as a fragrance. When I got this fragrance, putting it next to Hibiscus Mahajad, I could not tell both of them apart. And that is very, very hard to do. There have been a lot of dupes or attempted dupes at Hibiscus Mahajad, but this is the only one you need. Take this from me. Now, this is a strong fragrance. First of all, nothing can come close to the beast mode quality of Hibiscus Mahajad. Nothing. Top three, one of the strongest fragrances in my collection. Now, I would say though that Hibiscus Magic is a strong fragrance. Fragrance World's fragrances are strong, but nothing is as close to Hibiscus Mahajad. So what I'm saying is you're going to still get intensity in terms of the performance of this fragrance, but it's not going to be like Hibiscus Mahajad. But who cares? You're getting the same juice. You're getting such a unique accord. You're getting such a fantastic fragrance in a very special packaging. And it's a love, love, love. Get this fragrance. Get it. Do not sleep on this amazing offering by Fragrance World. This is also my favorite from the brand. Up next is Bain Al Asra, and this is by Paris Corner. Now, Paris Corner been out since 2019, doing a great job, getting a lot of traction in recent years because their recreations or replicas of fragrances are also of great quality. They've been delivering so many fantastic fragrances in the past year or so, and Bain Al Asra is their newest offering, and they did such a fantastic job. Also, for another fragrance with a very strong and imposing DNA called Guidance by Amouage. Now, as is with all Quentin Beach fragrances, like I just mentioned, there's something very unique about it, about them. Pretty hard to dupe, pretty hard to recreate, but for some reason, Paris Corner just did so great with turning that fragrance into Bena Ultra. One thing they did was to make it more tolerable. Guidance is a polarizing fragrance. You either love it or you hate it. People describe it as smelling like lady parts, and people also say it has a carnal quality to it. I love it either way. I'm part of those who enjoy the fragrance. Now, what Paris Corner did with Ben Aus tries to soften up a bit the notes, make it more enjoyable, wearable, and not as intense as Guidance is. So here you still have your pear, your hazelnut, your rose, your vanilla. Notes that together under Guidance are too in your face, hard to miss. But with Bena Austria, you're getting that a bit softer, warmer, and funny enough to me, it dries down sweeter. With Guidance, it dries creamier, and that is also what amplifies that strength in the fragrance, the intensity in the fragrance. But with Bena Austria, it's softer, it's sweeter, and it's likable. This would also get you a lot of compliments. Guidance always gets me compliments, and so I'm seeing with Bena Austria as well. For some reason, the accords work with my notes. I know some people who are like, scrub that fragrance off of my skin. I don't want to smell it. So I would say that Vienna Austria is not necessarily a safe blind buy. You have to know the DNA of Guidance to want to get Vienna Austria. If you do not, and you pick this up, you'll probably be like, what did I just get my nose on? What is this? But if you're familiar with the DNA and you've been wanting to get Guidance, it's very expensive, I would say, then definitely I recommend you get Vienna Austria. It's a strong fragrance, not too heavy in terms of the sillage, but if you spray like overspray, you probably get some maybe 2 feet of wear off of your skin. It's a great fragrance. Definitely one that I love. My favorite from Paris Corner. Recommend this for every woman. I would say this is more feminine leaning, but again, wear what you want to wear. Fantastic date night fragrance, more or less to be worn in the evening time. This is how I would recommend you wear it, and it's just too good. Next up is Amber 07, and this is by Swiss Arabian. Look at this gorgeous color. Oh, this is so beautiful. Looks like burnt orange, a bit bronzy. I love the color of the cap as well. Stunning, stunning, absolutely stunning. Now, Swiss Arabian is part of the Swiss Arabian group that has been in the market since 1974, but the Swiss Arabian fragrance portion or division started in 2010, and since then they've created close to 250 or about 300 fragrances. It's a popular brand. Their most popular being Shagaf Oud, and that is a beautiful fragrance. Now, for me though, that is not one of my, top three from the brand. I love the fragrances under their WAAW Heritage Series. Amber 07 is part of that, and it was released in 2021. This is a fragrance that no one is speaking about, and I'm wondering why. It is such a delicious yet creamy fragrance, very warm, a bit spicy. It just encompasses different elements of fragrances that I love. Okay, now it features the note of dates, which is what attracted me to this fragrance. I love dates in my fragrances. It gives it that thickness, that richness, a bit dense in its sweetness, and I'm obsessed. Amber 07, I don't think it's duping anything because Swiss Arabian, they're known to have their own standalone fragrances, but at the same time, they do a lot of dupes, right? But with Amber 07, it doesn't remind me of anything. I know people have compared this to a fragrance from Penhaligon's. Nah, I don't think so. Comparing it, both of them, I don't get that. I would say this is probably one of their standalone fragrances. It's worth having. It's a strong fragrance. I've had this since 2022, and this is where I'm still at. I only pulled this out though during the colder periods. And why I have this as a current favorite is because here in LA, the weather has just been playing tricks on us. Some days it's really, really cold, and you're wondering, isn't summer supposed to have started? So I've been wearing this during the colder periods, and which is only when I recommend this, and that's why it's here on my current favorite lists. Maybe if I did this in July or June, well, we're in June already, but if I did this in July, probably the list would change. But for right now, I still have it as a favorite until the weather comes down. The amber really shines through in this fragrance. This is a creamy, creamy, luxuriously creamy fragrance, very warm. So I'd also mention sweet and spicy. Okay, this is one that is complex as well. So you have to want something pretty unique to enjoy it. Always sample your fragrances. If except you just want to get a challenge for it, then I'll recommend this. But for me, again, because of my familiarity with the fragrance industry, I know what I'm looking out for. And I got that exactly with Amber 07. It's a special fragrance, long lasting, worth having in your collection. My favorite from Swiss Arabian, it's Amber 07. Next up is Shiaka Gold for women. This is by the brand Khadlaj. And honestly, this is an interesting design for a bottle. Not my favorite at all, but thought to share it with you. Now, Khadlaj is a brand also from the UAE. You know what? It's safe to say all of these fragrances are based out of the UAE, even though there are other countries within the Arab region. Khadlaj perfumes started in 2023, and a lot of people are getting in tune with their fragrances. I believe the most popular is Harim Al Sultan. They started off with their fragrance oils that have been a huge hit, and now they're delving more into the perfume as a whole, which I think is a solid idea. Now, Shiaka Gold for women, this is a rich fruity floral, but the fruits are not the typical ones you use with the flowers. Here the flowers are peony and lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is such a strong, sweet, intense floral note. I enjoy when I get lily of the valley in my fragrances because I know the fragrance will be sweet, it's going to be strong, it's going to perform, it's going to have a sexiness to it, and it's just going to be all around perfection. Shiaka Gold doesn't disappoint. You also have for the fruits plum, juicy ripe plums. That's what you're getting in this fragrance combined with the floral notes. I'm telling you, this doesn't smell like anything in my collection. This is such a unique smelling fragrance, very rich, very bold. It has a sort of modern twist to how it smells, but my gosh, this is a gorgeous fruity floral fragrance. This is one that will work well in summertime. It's going to be a hit in summertime. No pun intended. But definitely check it out. There's something very juicy about it as well. My only con is the packaging. Not a fan of it. This also feels a bit rough. Like, it's odd, but it's a great fragrance. And if you're into the idea of fruity florals, unique fruity florals, definitely check out Shiaka Gold for women by the brand Khadlaj. And last on the list is Lavender Femme by Haramain. Oh my gosh, this bottle makes me so happy. Now you probably know Haramain. They've created so many favorites in terms of fragrances. They have a huge following, and they've been out since what, 2012. They have close to 400 fragrances, and they just keep making out great scents and products that we do love and enjoy. Now, Lavender Femme, this is not the typical bottle you're going to find in the market, but me being me, I hunted down the biggest bottle, and I'm glad that I did. Lavender Femme, to me, is perfection. This is their take on Adventures for Her by Creed, and it's a one-to-one dupe of that fragrance. No need getting that. Get your hands on this. This is a compliment magnet for me, especially during the heat. The summertime, this is when I wear this fragrance the most because it just works well. Now, this I would describe as a fresh, fruity fragrance, The bergamot here brings in the citrus freshness mixed with the juicy sweet fruits of pineapple and wild berries. This is one that is equal parts sweet as it is fresh, which is why it's perfect for summertime. It's a fragrance that is a beast. It projects, has great sillage, it's going to stay on your clothes for days, if not weeks, and it is so long lasting. Everything you know and love about Aventus for Her, you're getting it with this fragrance. It has a slight woodiness as well, and something salty like which can almost come off like sweat. And I think that adds to the sexiness of this fragrance. Now, this is also another polarizing one. Some people just hate it because of that salty feel that comes to with that nuance. People cannot stand it, but that's the point of Aventus for Her. That is what makes it very, very special, a fragrance. And Armaf did a fantastic job putting that into this fragrance. I love it so much. I can tell you the number of compliments or the type of compliments I get from men or women when I wear Adventure Femme by Armaf. This is also safe for the office. You don't want to do too much in terms of the sprays, but just it's about how you put it on. It's about how you wear it. You're going to enjoy this fragrance. I've tried it to the office. I've tried this to parties. I've tried this on a night out. I've tried this during the daytime, all within the summer time frame or period. And it's always compliments, compliments, compliments. It's a great fragrance. Do not sleep on this. I know they have so many other fragrances. But for me right now, at this moment, I recommend you getting L'Adventure Femme, a perfect fragrance for women. Men can try to get this, but I would say ladies, if you want to smell like a bad babe, in charge, in control, paid, well groomed, and all-rounder, get your hands on this amazing creation, L'Adventure Femme by the one and only Arabiyat. And there you have it, my love, 10 fantastic fragrances from 10 amazing brands that are worth highlighting with you. Have you tried any of these? Let me know in the comments. And if there are some that I should know about, not mentioned, please share them with me. I can't wait to learn about your fragrance choices and tastes in the comments. Now I can't wait to bring more of these type of videos to you, and we can learn more and build our fragrance collection. How about that? Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Now, if you're yet to do so, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with your loved ones, and I cannot wait to see you soon. But until then, take care of yourself, stay blessed, stay beautiful. You are so beautiful, and please do not let anyone dim your lights. See you soon.